What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the It's Shorty podcast.
Yes.
Boy, it's been a hot goddamn minute. I'll tell you that much right then and there.
What for the other episode? I thought we did one last week.
No?
Oh, we didn't do one last week. Yes, right.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot.
Why? Why didn't we do it last week?
Remember,
oh yes,
yeah, it was Slammiversary.
I'm stupid. Okay, guys.
That's no shocker.
Stupid. You bitch.
Sorry, I had to take a little shut up.
You've been
Tyler,
ribbing me all day, dude. You've been ribbing me all day.
But other than that, I mean, welcome everybody. We're 20 episodes away from the big 100.
Yes.
Also,
shout out to the new followers on YouTube. We surpassed 1350 on YouTube. We were at 1351.
And also, too, we also are live on Instagram, on IG. Yes, I know it's going to be a bit of an hour. That's kind of the bit of a downside of that, but I'm okay with that. So if you can't catch it on YouTube, you can also check it out on Instagram. The link's in the description or at the bottom of the.
Yep, and after I will repost the replay on my Instagram. So if you guys want to check it out, go check out my Instagram. And enjoy the show, y'all.
But with that being said, we're going to kick it off. And Tyler and us, we and Tyler discuss this for the show. Tyler, take it away.
Tony Khan. You're the biggest freaking doofus. I swear to God. You basically WWE ECW'd Ring of Honor. Now you want to call it AEW Ring of Honor? Come on, dude. Come on. I know a name change is stupid to get pissed off about, but we wanted the old Ring of Honor feel, and we haven't gotten that. And now you want to make it an AEW show?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Come on. Get fucking real.
It really is. And actually, in credit to Wrestling Inc. and credit to Sam Palmer, who actually wrote this about 5 hours ago. So during the Death Before Dishonor media scrum, Khan noted that ROH could be potentially benefit from being rebranded in order to have more association with AEW, considering AEW has been more recognizable in 2024, even though I smell that's a load of bullshit.
Tony Khan, you don't see the freaking problem. First off, the quality of your Ring of Honor episodes are terrible. Secondly, you hid it behind a freaking paywall.
Exactly.
When you bought Ring of Honor, we expected you to put it on TBS or TNT. Did you? No. Did you? No. You know what you did? You rebranded Honor Club to where it was like, oh, you got to pay $5-6 to watch Ring of Honor television.
Yeah.
No. And it would have been better if you put it on TV, because literally you would have had a proper time slot, which Ring of Honor desperately needed, because every single time they aired it on a Sinclair broadcasting network, it was at midnight.
Yeah,
up here in Rhode Island, right? They air it on NBC locally here on in Rhode Island, and they air it around 12. They used to air it around 12 in the morning, 1 in the morning. Which I hated. I hated it because it's like, why would anybody stay up to watch Ring of Honor at midnight on it? And albeit it was on a Saturday, but still.
Yeah, like no one was
going to stay up till midnight to watch that. Nobody is.
Yeah, 100%. But like I said, I mean, at this point, and you know what's also bad too, that you had the former owner of Ring of Honor is very, like, you did something wrong.
He was pissed off.
Yeah, which it's like you just let that brand just die.
You basically bought it. You basically bought it from him and slapped him in the face.
Pretty much, and that at the same time too slapped in the face of some of the greatest wrestlers that came from Ring of Honor. I mean, guys like Adam Cole. I think AJ. No, I don't think AJ was there. I could be wrong.
AJ Styles did have like a minor stint, but it was during like an excursion with New Japan.
I mean, you also had Christopher Daniels. Frankie
Frankie
Kazarian as the Addiction.
Scorpio Sky. Those three.
Actually,
formed, dude. Those three formed SCU in Ring of Honor. It was during like the whole dying days in 2019 and 2020. But they formed SCU in Ring of Honor. They didn't form that in AEW.
Yeah. Oh, that's true as well. I probably forgot
Punk, Danielson, Claudio. Yep.
I mean, there's a list.
Roderick Strong. The Kingdom.
Which, by the way, too, I mean, I don't mind this version of the Kingdom, but I still prefer Matt Taven, Vinny Marcellia, TK O'Reilly.
Yeah, that's the era I grew. That's the era I almost said grew up on when I was like a teenager when this shit happened.
Oh yeah,
because I started watching Ring of Honor around the same time I rejoined watching wrestling as a whole.
Yeah.
It was like summer of 2016 is when I started, and the Kingdom was Vinny Marcellia, TK O'Brien, and Matt Taven.
And you also, got the Brit. I mean, like I said, and Steven, I appreciate you guys coming in the chat. There is a lot of freaking names that came from Ring of Honor.
There's so much great talent. You can list.
And you have some underrated ones too. And I will say this too, though. I will say there is some underrated talent on this. One second. One second, guys. I'll be right back.
While my buddy is doing whatever he's doing, there's a lot of great talent that came from Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
The problem is the fact that, for one, when Ring of Honor first went out of business, they fired everybody.
Oh yeah.
Some of them already had gone to other companies. The only ones that really stayed was Matt Taven, the Briscoes. Who else? Roddy came back for a while to Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Other than that, there was all new talent. But the problem was they took from AEW's main show. When Athena debuted, she didn't debut at no Ring of Honor show. She debuted at an AEW pay-per-view. For AEW. She was signed to be in AEW. And you put her on Ring of Honor.
I mean, this point.
And yes, I get that she's carrying that specific brand. I'm not even calling it a company. It's a AEW brand at this point.
That's basically what it is.
It's a brand. It's not even a company. Like, she's basically carrying Ring of Honor. She's
100%.
Because of her women's title reign. And that's another thing too, John L. They another talent that they didn't know, and it's always because they don't know what to do with these people on regular AEW. She was on AEW TV. It was like, in the beginning they didn't know whether to turn her heel or keep her face.
Yeah.
And then she got put on Ring of Honor because they didn't know what to do with her. And also, why the hell do you think Ethan Page left?
And shoot, there's another guy
We don't know what to do with you, so go to Ring of Honor. He didn't want to be there.
And look what he's doing now in NXT. A whole lot fucking better than what...
Dude, within like the first month of him being in the company, he's won the NXT title. And it's been a good reign so far.
Even though it was kind of surprising, actually, he pulled the trigger.
Surprising that happened, but it's a good reign.
But I will say this too, though. I mean, speaking with Ethan Page, Jesus Christ. So apologies for the brain fart there. Another guy that I didn't put this on my notes, but I kept this as a mental note. Another guy that's going to be probably out the door, and that's Keith Lee.
Now, his situation's a lot different.
I know.
His situation's a lot different, but it's kind of the same deal. Hear me out for a minute. Rampage is another place where wrestlers go to die.
Yeah.
He's stuck on Rampage in meaningless feuds that don't go anywhere. It's not even on pay-per-view.
I mean, shoot, another. You can make the same argument for Collision.
Collision, they're trying with Collision. The problem is no one watches it. No one really.
Yeah, we all know that Miro's going to be on his way out. That's for 100%.
Miro's done because they don't know what to do with him. They don't know what to do with him. And they gave him a scripted injury, and he hasn't been seen since. Because they don't know what to do with him. Oh, you know what? No, it's not because he had a scripted injury. It's because he was in a feud with Andrade. And instead of their dumbasses trying to push hard to re-sign Andrade and make him happy, he goes. Now, they didn't know what the hell to do with CJ, Miro's ex-wife. They didn't know what to do with her. After the whole divorce thing, the mutual divorce, they were like, now what do we do? Because she lost Andrade. We were planning on getting her back with Miro. Newsflash. They mutually freaking split. They're friends. They can work together. They don't have to be a couple to work together. And yet, you are like, oh, they're not together, so they shouldn't even be together on TV. Not in that capacity, sure, but, you can make him his manager and be friends.
Yeah, 100%. And, John, that is also a problem, too. No one fucking watches it. It comes right after SmackDown.
It comes out. Everybody is, here's the thing. We don't have that big of an attention span to watch 2 wrestling shows in one day, even though I ironically do, because I'm watching a pay-per-view before SmackDown or something. I throw a pay-per-view on, watch that, and then watch SmackDown. And hell, I watch our retro stream and then watch NXT right after. So I can watch 2 shows, but the problem is, why the hell would you put it on Fridays at 10 o'clock at night? It's dumb.
And I mean, that's...
for Collision, no excuse. None. But what you do, you make filler after filler after filler after filler. Same thing with Rampage. That's also an issue. Filler.
So Steven, sorry to cut you off, Tyler. So Steven says they have to get rid of Rampage or put ROH or showcase the women's division. Shoot. If you wanted to add ROH on television, you're going to have to do it.
Here's the thing, though. You can showcase the women's division. That's fine. That's all fine and dandy. I'm for it. The problem is they do that too. But they throw in a filler match. No one likes filler. That's the problem. It's not because they're not. It's not because of the lack of women on that show. Which there's a lot of women's matches on Rampage. Like I saw a match card from I think it was like a few months ago. It was like a women's match here, a women's match there, a women's match here. Didn't save Collision or didn't save Rampage.
Oh yeah.
The problem is you can't just slap matches together. You have to make a feud to make people care about these shows. You don't.
You need substance.
In the beginning, Rampage did kind of do that. Let's not beat around the bush. They kind of did that. They continued Dynamite feuds there. They didn't do shit here. They don't do shit. They just
pretty much just say fuck it and just pretty much just hit the fuck it button.
Hit the fuck it button and they just like when college football starts. Collision,
oh yeah, no one's gonna give a shit about Collision after that.
They're gonna dip further when college football starts. Like way further.
Oh yeah.
No, look at their numbers for Collision when they have a WWE pay-per-view.
Not that great.
On the same night. They tank. The only ones that really watch are the hardcore AEW fans that don't see no wrong with the company.
Which that's also a bit of an issue, but that's
also an issue. You have to tribal this.
I mean that to each their own. I mean,
and that's the thing, John. No, like you're unproblematic, so we're not going to bash you for watching Collision. You can watch it here and there. I don't mind. Like, here's the thing. There was a time where I said screw it, and I watched an episode of Collision once. It wasn't good, but it was background noise.
Yeah, that is also true as well.
So
And that's another issue that I think.
here's the thing. It'll be on early. That's the thing. But
They're still going to fucking tank.
They only do it an hour early. So the ratings are still going to tank by that second hour.
They're going to tank by default anyways.
They're tanking by default anyway because Collision's not that great. Hell, I'd rather watch the pre-show with freaking Wade and Booker and the new what's her face? I forgot. The one that does hockey, but also does
Jackie Redmond.
Jackie Redmond, yeah. I'd rather watch them talk for an hour than Collision.
Yeah, and as we said, that's not saying much, but
it's not saying much.
And at the same time, too, there's also a problem where you have wrestlers controlling some that have creative control, which is a bit. And yes, the Olympics is not helping either. At the same time,
yes, the Olympics is not helping either. Because
so either way,
people like the Olympics. Like, what if there's a Team USA basketball game on? That's tank. Like, there's sports where I like that people don't care about. Like swimming's okay. I can get into it, but some of the other stuff too, I can't really get into. Like soccer, I can't get into it. Rugby, I can definitely get into that. That's hard.
Oh yeah,
I love rugby.
But
that's violent. That's a violent sport.
And at the same time, too, at times too, look, race may not seem a lot by today's standards, but at times I use it. The way how we look at it is used like a measuring of where the show is most of the time. You
can't really measure it by ratings that much anymore. But the problem is,
then yeah, you could.
The problem is, you have shows like Raw, SmackDown, even NXT beating.
Which even NXT's back on the come up, which has been fucking fantastic to see.
I think the new goalpost is you have to get 1 million now. You don't necessarily need to get the 5, the 6, the 10. You don't need that because a lot of people, they don't have cable. They're streaming shows.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, like SmackDown, like perfect example for this. SmackDown, they're very consistent with it. Now, yes, there are times I would say the last couple of years where they have hit under 1 million, and at times too they're going. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were going against. No, I think
they were going against something when they went down to like.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was because I think they got under 1 million at the time. This was about a couple of years ago. Which
but that was like during the era during the Vince era where he couldn't book for nothing.
Yeah, that's
And there was and let me tell you something. There was an episode, and I'm beating around the bush with this too because I did talk about it.
That's
there was an episode in 2020 where you had 4 women vying for the women's championship, right? 4 women. You had Tamina.
I think I know where you're going with this.
You had Tamina, Lacey Evans, I think Naomi, and somebody else. I forgot who it was.
Oof.
In a karaoke competition. I'm shitting you not, on SmackDown.
I remember that. And I never told Tyler.
No one watches this to watch that. They watch it to watch wrestling, not singing.
Well, and you also got to think of this too, Tyler. Remember, this kind of reminds me when you go back to watch what NXT was a fucking reality show. Like, this is something we would see on the old NXT, not the black and gold, not this era, but like when it become a reality show, you have to showcase your talents or where the fuck do you, which good Lord, thank God NXT became
the funniest freaking promo. It was like, but the thing is that the funniest thing about it though was the promo thing because they gave him the weird ass topics.
Oh yeah.
And they gave like I think it was like one of the ones that had the bad promo, and he didn't even get signed because he had a terrible promo where it was like cut a promo about not having hair, and it was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of funny because random.
God, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. I think that they might have given that to Low Key. Well, at the time, Caval before he.
It wasn't Low Key. It was some terrible wrestler. Nobody knows him. Like knows his name.
I mean, roughly fucking so, but that's neither here nor
there. No, Low Key wasn't freaking.
I'll say too.
Low Key actually won the show, and then he goes to Raw and SmackDown. They don't do shit with the guy.
And ever since he left, I mean, he's had success elsewhere, like places like MLW.
TNA he had some success with.
Yeah, I forgot about he had TNA.
Oh, he's already gone. No, he's already gone, Jono. His contract's up. He's already gone.
I would say this too.
He's gone.
Like, if I had to predict where Lashley's going to go, I would say back to TNA.
TNA. Yep.
Shit, him and Moose. Oh, fucking God.
Also, well, let me read the comment. Steven goes, I hope AEW gets a streaming deal done by All In. I hope so too. Right now they're in talks with Warner Brothers Discovery for a new TV deal, but the problem is AEW wants all this money when their ratings are not that great. You're not going to get the money if your ratings aren't great. I hate to break it to you, Tony.
That's absolutely.
You're not going to get a hefty deal if your ratings aren't that great. So take the money that they're trying to give you and go with it.
Stop being too damn greedy. Goddamn
Stop
greedy.
being greedy.
Scrooge
Stop
McDuck.
Being greedy. You're the money that you're putting in this company ain't even your money. It's your daddy's money.
Honestly, if I'm Shad, I'll be fucking disappointed.
Dude, Shad, when he had that one appearance on AEW, he looked pissed.
Yeah, like that. That's when kind of where it's like, oh yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I feel bad for Shad. I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Because it's
I'm like, he stole your freaking money to make this company, which I respect Tony Khan for trying to get an alternative for WWE that wasn't great at the time. I respect him for that. But the guy over the years has gotten too big for his britches and became a mark.
I mean, if anybody has kind of an understanding of what AEW is all about, go back to watch that pipe bomb promo from MJF. I'm pretty sure he said it best the way how he explained that.
Dude, he called him a fucking mark out.
Dude, the dude
he said it with his chest.
The dude felt
real, and it probably was real. Because he is.
And he was fucking right. You guys got to think of this too.
Right.
And we'll get to SmackDown.
Hasn't been that good lately. I really didn't care to watch it last night because I feel like you saying the same stuff every week.
The problem is,
you're like, in a way that they are copy pasting episodes. They are.
Yeah.
Like last week was the week before's, if you noticed it. But a lot of people are saying that SmackDown hasn't been really great. It hasn't.
It's not like super terrible, but it's actually pretty.
It isn't dog shit like Raw 2019.
Oh God, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
And also, SmackDown 2019 was ass.
And oh yeah, I forgot Jimmy Uso led the fucking karaoke thing on SmackDown. That was so fucking stupid. Oh, man, no, not Jim.
And I did say Tamina. I said Tamina, Naomi, Bailey, and then somebody else. Or what? I think it was Bailey because I think she was champ. It was Tamina, Naomi, Bailey, and Lacey Evans.
Ugh.
But if my memory,
I think so. Right. With 2 out of the 4 good ones, and the other 2 are hot ass.
No shade to I do. But I do see people's side saying that SmackDown for the last few episodes hasn't been great. It hasn't. I feel like it's still decent, but the problem is
you don't actually watch for 2 hours.
They are copy pasting shit.
It's
and for the last 2-3 weeks, it seems like the same result. Bloodline beating down everybody. It is, and that was my gripe for SmackDown the last 2 weeks. It had the same ending. Cody getting beaten down by this new bloodline. And that's why I was saying Cody is in a terrible position. You can say, oh, they're doing this for a reason because Cody's about to win at SummerSlam. He's going to defeat the yacht. This underdog shtick needed to end. The guy's the champion.
Yeah, champion.
Book him as the champ, not the underdog.
And I'm going to say this too, though. Look, I love God, but since coming to WWE, they have not been that impressive, and that really fucking pains me because I love God.
You know what I think? Also, the problem is you have Tonga Loa who really can't go that well in the ring, and the only reason why God worked in New Japan is because Tama Tonga can actually go. Tom DeLow, all he has for him is the charisma side of things.
Because
He doesn't have the skill. He does not.
Dude, he is too damn slow.
He's slow in the ring. I know you can make the case that he got concussed at the last pay-per-view. He did get concussed, so he was seeing double in that spot where he had to low blow somebody. I forgot who it was. I think it was Kevin Owens or something.
It was supposed to be KO. Missed the first time.
Missed the first time. He scooted up a little bit and hit him the second time.
And then at the same time also clonked his brother in the head as well on the way.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like he's, and also another thing too, Hikuleo. I've been hearing that he's not great either.
And I'm going to say this too because, like I said, that was one of the mental notes I kept in the back of my head. I think for me, I think where they kind of really fucked up is like you could have like sent them, like had him like go for NXT for a little bit and then kind of get familiar with the WWE system. They just pretty much throw God right into the fucking fire.
But here's the thing, though, they are familiar with the WWE system. You had Tom DeLow was Camacho.
Oh, good God, I won't forget about that. So badly.
Why do you have a Samoan guy playing a Mexican dude?
It does make. I guess skin color, maybe. Oh, look, it's Vince we're talking about. That was Vince we're talking about.
He also made a Samoan or Japanese guy in the 90s.
But hey, it worked. It worked at the time.
It did work.
And he's still considered one of the old-time greats at the time.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, too.
He's probably going to show up like after SummerSlam, not like at SummerSlam or before.
So I feel like the only return I would, well, we see what's been reported so far up to this point is probably Roman. Now that could change on my fucking dime.
I would have Cody again getting beaten down by the Bloodline, but have Jimmy show up on SmackDown to make the save.
Yeah.
Which I thought every time Cody got beaten down, Jimmy was showing up to make the save. Nope.
I guess they're probably saying.
I know they're milking this whole return, but damn.
Like, and that's the thing too, and that's the thing. Look, I don't mind the copy and paste bullshit, but over time, once you start doing it over time, it's going to really piss a lot of people off. It's going to really make people not want to tune in on a weekly basis. Now, that's where I've always enjoyed Raw for what it currently what it is. Like, there's always something new on Raw. It's like, oh, we got so-and-so going in, or here and there. Or we got this certain segment, yada, yada, yada. If you catch my drift. And listen, I'm not trying to poke fun at SmackDown. That's no questions. And that's another problem, too. I think that's where this is why me and Tyler, not just us, I would say, a lot of wrestling fans want.
I know you're going with, and it's an annoyance.
But at the same time too, we need to hurry the hell up and get off of Fox for crying out loud. To the constant fucking blackouts, which and I will tell you this too. The one stream that I did, I think I did this solo. I was super fucking uncomfortable. Now, we'll say this too, Steven. That's not going to be an issue.
That's going to be fixed by 2025.
Oh, 100%.
Because
I'm excited.
You're going to Netflix, and Triple H said, we're not going to spam you with commercials. This is going to be a completely commercial-free, uncensored show. Completely commercial-free. Which I love. Completely love it. You can link all the segments up. You can do the one camera shot thing all show, and that's fine.
Which is a lot better than what they were doing before, because good God.
It's fucking better. Like the guy who made that shit up, Race.
Beaver Boy.
Well, not Beaver Boy. I'm talking about the one shot dude. Beaver Boy can go screw himself. But
I think that was now I can't think of his name now.
I forgot his name, but that dude, the new guy who's working production, Raise right now.
Oh, it's been fantastic.
Been awesome.
Now moving on, because here's another note I completely forgot to add. Jim Ross actually talked about the one storyline he fucking hated. And for those who my Attitude Era people, so WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross recalls he quote-unquote ridiculous attitude storyline. Which storyline in particular? Oh yeah, the higher power bullshit that was going on when he had Vince in the fucking ministry.
You literally butchered the ending because you didn't want to sign Christopher Daniels.
Which was fucking stupid. And
Dumb. Because he was the original plan. They were going to sign Christopher Daniels and make him the higher power. But as soon as that deal did not get through, because y'all let him walk or let him go, you made Vince the guy. So the guy that they've been feuding with for as long as they've been feuding with, he had this face run. He's been behind all that. What?
And
it was dumb. It was a dumb reveal.
So this is basically what JR, what he said on his Grilling JR podcast says. I think when you sit back and look at it and try to evaluate it, it makes some sense out of it. It's hard to make sense out of it. I remember Vince saying, "It was me, Austin. It was me all along," or something along those lines, and that's kind of how it worked out. But it was a stretch to reality that just didn't make a lot of sense.
Dude, it was a giant ass stretch. You could say it was a reach.
And all I can say is,
it was a reach. You can't tell me it's any different like that.
Yeah.
Good questions. Even good. I'm trying to read, but do you guys see Raw going 2 hours when they go to Netflix, or they stick with 3 hours? The thing is, though, 3 hours is because of commercials. So if they're staying with like over 2 hours,
okay,
without ads, you might cut that by 15 minutes because you could, with no ads, a 3 hour show that's on cable hypothetically is basically only 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Oh yeah, 100%
without ads. Maybe 2 hours 30 without ads.
And that's another thing too. It's like, and take it from me, I remember when Raw was back in 2 hours. Yeah, yes, it was on the late night slot, the 9 o'clock slot. So, yeah,
I did that shit because I could only watch an hour of Raw, and then I had to go to bed.
And then we had to get ready for school the next day.
Gotta get ready for school the next day. I'm like, damn. And then I'm like after school, just like going on WWE.com to see what the hell happened.
Oh yeah, this was before you actually had.
Those were days.
This was before smartphones was a thing.
Yeah, I had to go on my computer to see what happened because this is around like 2003 on to like 2000. They didn't go for 3. They didn't move to like 8 o'clock to like maybe like 2009, 10.
I think around that time frame, which at the time I thought it was a smart move, but the fact you made it 3 hours is that's really too long.
Dude, they went from like 8 till 11. Like no, that was when they started doing the Super Show thing. So that was around 2011 when they moved it to 8 and made it 3 hours. Which so stupid.
And I mean, when you look at it now, it is now not so.
But hold on, let me talk. Now it's like 3 hours. It's kind of like a non-factor because Triple H kind of knows how to book 3 hour shows.
Which is, and piggyback off that, that was kind of one of the biggest criticisms. Like, can you, because in 2 hours, yeah, you can fit a lot of crap stuff in 2 hours if done properly. 3 hours, because usually that third hour has always been the biggest problem with Raw, most times than not.
Yeah, because they don't know what to do with that third hour. Like, Vince didn't even know what the hell to do with 3 hours. Hell, he didn't even know what to do in 2.
That's shocking.
The first hour of Raw is usually meh. Second hour, that's when they start dropping off.
Oh, yeah.
And then by the third hour, it's like, please end
it. It drops off even more.
And then, and also the problem is, under that era, 3 hours felt like 3 hours.
Nowadays, that's not so much.
It feels like 2 at the most for Raw. I'm like, damn, all right, the main event?
Yeah, well, like perfect example. I think the one Raw we did, I think we're just out of the 2 hour and 45-minute mark when we streamed that Raw. Yeah. And when I look at the time, it's like, holy shit. It's like, because usually 10:30 is pretty much when the main event starts. Most times than not. And a lot of times you really don't think about it. If it goes all well and, things are progressing most times, like I said, at most times than not, it's one of those things. It's like, shit, you don't really think about it too much. You just sit there, enjoy, and that's why, like I said, yeah, and yes, Triple H does have his faults, which everybody's not perfect.
Yeah, it seems like it does seem like talking about Triple H who has its faults, he does, because SmackDown it's just more copy paste. If you don't copy paste the show, you might have a better show.
Yeah,
he just copy pasted it, and it's not the greatest thing ever. I know you're trying to get through feuds for SummerSlam. I get that, but you need to have different matches.
You need to add something fresh, and that's why I think too. That's why, and now me and Tara, we have. I want to see where we call ourselves hypocrites, because it's like, oh, how do I explain this?
I don't even know what you're trying to explain.
Okay, I think I just lost my train of thought, but it'll come back to me eventually, which hardly ever does. But moving on, but we have a couple things with CM Punk though. He first things first. This is coming from WrestlingNews.co. CM Punk kind of talked about. Oh god, my fucking foot's been killing me at the moment. So, Lord have mercy. So Andrew Ravens of WrestlingNews.co actually, and this is the quote that CM Punk gave. Said, if this place was the way it is now, I would never have left WWE 10 years ago. I mean, in a sense, yeah.
Because back in 2014, he saw the writing on the damn wall. Right? He saw the writing. He saw the writing. Well, and it was just like Vince was catering to The Rock at the time.
Yeah.
He was catering to him, and he goes, and in that pipe bomb, he was like, they favor The Rock more than me.
Steve.
He basically said in short layman's terms, they favor The Rock more than me. It should be me and John Cena at WrestleMania, but Dwayne had to chime in.
Which,
yeah. But really, though, it was because of Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon thinks you can't get ratings unless you have these older wrestlers come in and steal spots. Can't do that.
Because the only ones I know, I think they can do a good job with that. Cena's one of them, because I mean he's been doing this for. It's been what? God, when did he officially make his debut? Not the start of the.
What do you mean, Punk?
What is going on, AJ? I'm talking about Cena, not. Exclude oh god, when he fucking bitch slapped freaking Kurt Angle, said ruthless aggression. It's like, why? We don't talk about that, so moving on from that. But I think Cena's just one of those guys when you really do think about it. Like, I would say,
thank you, AJ. We appreciate it.
Like I said, we do these every Saturday. We're also live every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Because but yeah, like I said, we try to, because we're trying to get back. Well, actually, as y'all know, we're trying to get back on the grind. Well, which we are. Try to get out of this. I want to say like a little funk that we were in for like what, a good month and a half, give or take.
It wasn't really a funk. It was more so. It was either you were tired from work or other shit.
And we're also constantly canceling shit. It's like
constantly canceling shows.
And that really bugs me.
The thing is, though, I had to cancel one time because I was hanging out with. I think it was one of those days I was hanging out with family. So I was like, you have to cancel.
Yeah,
but those are understandable reasons. That's the thing. But also, my buddy was heated from work one day, and he had heat exhaustion one of those days. I'm like, yeah.
Dude, I was too damn fucking tired. So I do not want to stream today.
Like, I'm tired. I have a fever from getting heat exhaustion. I'm like, dude.
Oh yeah, I felt somewhat sick.
I had it before. Because I was in school one day.
Shoot, there was one time.
I'm trying to tell this part of the story though, but I dealt with it too, because I went to school one day when I was in high school. So I think it was like either my junior or I didn't have much of a senior year because I was hospitalized with an issue. And I don't want to get into all that. That's a complete non-issue now. But I think it was my junior year. It was like in the summertime. School was ending at that point. It was around June. School was ending. I was in art class, and I was feeling super sluggish. And I'm like, I don't feel that well. And it wasn't because they didn't have the air on. It wasn't because they did. They did, you know. I went outside um to catch the bus. I felt worse. Got on the bus, went home. They had air conditioning in there too, so I was fine there. Um, I went home. I felt dizzy. I had to go lay down. I had to drink water. I had to put on a fan. Now back to current day. Remembering that fact, I had to tell Rob, dude, cancel the stream, go lay down, drink water, and turn on a fan because he was not great. So,
And yeah, and there are times too where, out of the meantime, we had to push through whatever we were fucking pushing through. Case in point,
and then there was a time where I was so damn sick. It was like during the spring. I was so sick. A week's worth of streams, we had to cancel.
Yeah, it was just,
and literally, I was sick for 2 weeks straight.
And take it from me, is for someone who had to deal with fucking a case of bronchitis at the time, and I couldn't even get through one show without fucking coughing my damn lungs out. Like I felt so, embarrassing.
One of those days, you coughed so hard in your sleep, your eye exploded.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
and I didn't even fucking feel it. That's the crazy part. But
you were asleep. Of course, you didn't feel it.
But neither here nor there. We're gonna move on with that. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. So, like I said, and also too, before we get on to that too, for those who are new subscribers, yeah, weekly meets. Well, mostly me. I will make the streaming schedule. I will post it. I think I usually post it mostly every Sunday because usually we usually start with Raw first. So, like I said, it is subject to change. So I might, like I said, there are times where I might have to delete it, make some adjustments to it, and re-upload it, that sort of thing. So nothing's really set in stone. So we try to make sure you guys can stay up to date. Or if you check me and Tyler out on social media, like I said, we're always active on there. Yeah, and stuff like that. But so another thing, sticking with CM Punk, though, he kind of addressed a potential return for his wife, AJ Lee. I know me and Tyler kind of talked about, we discussed it before the show. So, as Punk says, I'm the wrong guy about to ask those questions about when. I know there's a lot that's a lot out there about that. Jesus Christ, I can't fucking read. Good Lord. Shut up, asshole.
Bro, you got like a second grade ringy level.
Fuck, now I just lost my. Oh, there it is. But I'm certainly not pushing her to do anything. I think that she knows there are options. Basically, in short, like he's kind of hinting that she could return, but there's a possibility that she may not. So take that for what you will.
Yeah, I wouldn't take his words like, "Oh my God, she's returning." Like, y'all thought the same thing when it came to the last pay-per-view. Oh, she's returning there. No.
I mean, shoot, it would be fucking nice though.
Would have been cool, but still, no.
I think she's kind of content where she's at.
Yeah, if you like see interviewers interview her, if you see her interviews and stuff, it seems like she's content with writing books and like making movies because she's an actor now.
Yeah,
and that's the thing too. She's like a lower level actor, but she's an actor.
Hey, still an actor nonetheless. And that's the thing too. Like I much as love AJ Lee. Quite honestly, I think she kind of retired at the. I would say not say the perfect time, but I probably at a time where I think, because if anybody has watched professional wrestling and have seen wrestlers come out in interviews, yeah, you got to see it. Like this shit, it is wear and tear in the goddamn body, no matter what company.
She was getting wear and tear, and she was like, I think also too, it also did stem from the CM Punk drama from 2014 too.
Yeah, that's
She left alongside him.
and the fact that this is the same couple that Punk got his pink slip on his fucking wedding day.
I think
So,
that's one of the catalysts as to why she left. Because
honestly,
they sent him the pink slip on their wedding day, and she was mad about it. And
I'm not be fucking so.
rightfully so. Rightfully so. You don't do that to somebody. You don't do that to
But
people. But also, she wanted to write books, write movies. She's also a booker for Women of Wrestling.
yeah, which is
Like she's a booker
fantastic.
there. She's awesome with the booking. I did watch an episode one day. It was on Vice. I'm like, this is good stuff. Now,
Yeah,
some of the talent, it's like it's hard. It's cartoony sometimes, but like it's not.
I did not hold up. I did not hear about that.
Oh, I
I
forgot about that. That was announced. Okay, with the dog, but yeah, she announced that yesterday. She announced it.
huh.
I
I
should
guess it
have told you.
must have flew on the radar with me.
It flew on a lot of people's radar because I completely forgot about it. But Miko Satomura is retiring
I mean, the
in
fact she's
2025
no.
before she even got a call up. Okay, with the yelling, but 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 with her not getting called up, I don't. People are like, oh, she just get her call up for the. She ain't getting called up.
I mean, that's the thing too.
She
That's
was
great,
there. She was there to help the younger talent in NXT.
and
That was it. That was all she was there for. She wasn't there to get a main roster call up. And plus, she hasn't even been seen on WWE programming because of her working with her wrestling company in Japan.
mm-hmm.
So I feel like, and they're giving her the big matches in this Japan tour because they're giving her Bailey versus her for the title at a live event in Japan on Tuesday. So that's fine. They're giving her like the main roster rub on in Japan for live events, which I'm fine with. All right, I'm fine with. She don't need to win. She doesn't need to win the women's world title before she retires. She doesn't need to have a main
I mean,
roster push.
I mean, think about it too. I mean, she's been around the block a few times, so to speak.
Yes, WCW, fucking Japan, all these other companies. I feel like anyway, even though she didn't have a main roster push, they're putting her in Hall of Fame.
And the fact, and she's won championships everywhere else she's been. I mean, the fact she is the fact. So in terms of, like her championships, oh jeez, that is a lot. So I'm not gonna really.
You don't have to read all of them. You don't have to read all of them.
Basically, in short, she's well accomplished. At this point, so congrats on the career. Even though I didn't really see much in her in your younger years. But yeah, I mean, congrats to Mako, the kind of career she's had, and that's pretty much about it. So, moving on, we got a couple more things to go over. I kind of bug, but actually, speaking with SummerSlam kind of around the corner, we seen some matches kind of in a way kind of not say take shape, but kind of we're seeing some progression. I mean, case in point with Rhea and Liv, it has not really followed that storyline, even though it's kind of funny as hell. Throughout this entire
You
thing.
had me lose my ever living shit on the Raw stream.
Oh yeah,
it was them damn short shorts, bro.
I mean, the Daisy Dukes will do it to you,
bro. I freaked out on stream.
Lord have mercy, but
moving. Anyway,
but
put on.
Speaking of Liv, she actually shows appreciation for the women who quote unquote paved the way. So she actually talked about that. I said this So obviously showing respect to the ones that came before her. But pretty much she says this is all because of them. We don't get to where we are now without Trish, Lita, and Molly Holly, Jackie, Ivory, Lord. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can't disagree with all those names. But all the amazing women that paved the way for us. Like this doesn't exist without them. So I'm sure they're proud their work meant something. And then it continues to blossom into the women's division that we have today and the women's division we'll have in 10 years.
True.
I mean, if you think about it, look at the names that she's Trish and Lita. Now, when you really look at the time, obviously the time period that they were in,
for me, they were in the wrong time period.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to go with. That wrong place, wrong time.
It wasn't wrong place, wrong time. It was the right place, wrong time. That was the thing. It was the right place, wrong time. Because, and we say this because they were often sexualized on TV. And yeah, Liv is kind of sexualized on TV now. But it's not as bad as the Trish and Lita's era. That was worse.
Now, like I said, for those who are kind of understand what we're talking about, go back and watch the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era.
Watch one of the Attitude Era segments with women and watch the Liv segment and tell me that's not the same level of sexualization.
Yeah, so, but Molly Holly, to me, I will say this too, she is underrated as hell, and I do like the fact that, yeah, I mean, you got to think too, Molly Holly kind of really also helped. God, she was what, Ruthless?
She was like late Attitude Era Ruthless Aggression. She came around, I think she came around like 2000, 2001, and then she wrestled ever since till maybe like 2005.
Yeah, which is kind of, and hell, she still rocks a superhero gimmick with
That was cute. That was a cute freaking gimmick. Those two, that was cute.
I mean,
Jackie Molly and Hurricane gimmick, that was cute, man.
I mean, Chyna, I'm not surprised with that with her, because let's be real, Chyna pretty much. And look, I know we're going to see Trish.
If there was no Chyna, there would not be a Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley.
I'm just saying.
And in a way, Chyna, Trish, and Lita were kind of the trailblazers for their time, the time period, I would say, in the company. Despite the fact it was not the greatest time period for women's wrestling or just women in general, because as we all know, women were God, I really hate to go with this route. And this is one of my things that really bugged me as someone who's lived through the Attitude Era. They were seen as objects. And I really hate using that word. I really do. Because
it's not that. It's not that you're calling them objects. You're telling it like it is. Because in Vince's eyes, they were just objects, sexual objects.
And I felt bad for some of those women. I truly did.
I remember when freaking McMahon tried to make an incest angle with his freaking daughter.
Yeah, that.
I'm like, ew, dude.
And you are so sick and fucking twisted that you had Shane saying "fuck you" for that. Figuratively speaking, that is.
Dude, Shane and Stephanie were like, "Fuck you, we ain't doing that."
And remember the freaking father versus daughter match? I think no one would. You know what? Actually,
I watched that.
Oh, I think Tyler might have frozen a little bit there.
No, I didn't freeze.
On my end, you did.
No, I didn't. I'm good. But back to what I was saying. It was the fact that it was No Mercy 03. No Mercy.
Yes.
Oh my god. Dude, I watched that match back. I was so uncomfortable. Because the majority of the match, he is choking her out with a lead pipe. For the majority of the match.
Yeah, it was just so bad.
I was like, oh my god. And this was during his feud with Zach Gallen. Remember him?
Yeah, the same guy who actually, I want to talk about Zach Gallen a little bit. Does anybody? He did an interview. I think it was Chris Van Vliet. He talked about the most insane pitch that I thought I was going to fucking kill him. A fucking F5 off the goddamn SmackDown fist through the goddamn stage. Hell no. With him and Brock.
Bro, how fucking nuts do you have to be? This ain't Here Comes the Pain where you can actually do that. This is real life.
I mean, the only thing we saw was him getting pushed down the stairs in a wheelchair. And the fact that this is the same guy who also took, credit him, took a fucking beating from Brock in front of his mother. Because Lord,
bro, freaking Brock Lesnar used to freaking F5 you through the damn ring post.
Oh yeah, the dude he got his shit kicked in.
And then you have Vince kicking his prosthetic leg to where his prosthetic leg flies off during a freaking goddamn arm wrestling match. Which was funny, not gonna lie. It was funny.
Hang on.
Literally, look it up. It happened.
Dude, I'm trying not to laugh because it's like, God damn it.
Dude, like, you know how fucked up you are to me? Who gives a shit? Laugh.
God, I could just see it. I just still picture it. It just makes me cackle. And yes, I'm going to take the short bus to hell. Sue me.
Dude, I still laugh at that. I'm already on that freaking bus.
But besides that,
some of the shit, it's kind of fucked up. Like what he used to do. Like the women, I did not like the booking, but like literally what he did to Zach Gowen. Shit, my ass would have wrote that shit.
Oh, you probably would.
I would write that shit.
And like I said, I mean, credit to Zach Gowen too. I mean, the tough, even despite, it didn't really do well in his matches. But I would say this guy's toughness was something.
And then Vince fired him. Because you want to know the reason why he fired him?
Why? Because he was a cripple?
No. Part of that's true, but they signed the wrong one-legged guy.
Who was the other one?
Some guy who couldn't wrestle in the Indies.
I forgot. Well, I think I don't remember that.
I forgot who it was. But they were like, we signed the wrong one-legged guy. Huh?
Yeah, it was so fucking stupid.
I'm like, dude, Zach Gowen was badass with one leg.
I mean,
this man was doing moonsaults off the top rope on one leg.
With one leg.
Like, are you like? No, you signed the right one-legged guy. You know what I wish would have happened? I really wish this would happen. This was during the height of the cruiserweight division. He should have won.
He would have thrived in the cruiserweight division.
He should have won the cruiserweight title.
Unfortunately, to Vince, that was never seen as the case. Which sucks.
One feud with Sean O'Hare, which was terrible.
God rest that man's soul too.
Oh my God, yeah. But shame that he went through some shit. And
I mean, look, I was not the biggest Sean O'Hare kind of fan, but when I kind of saw how the presentation kind of gave off, it's like, there's something there.
For me, I liked it. I liked the whole devil's advocate gimmick that he had in 03. I liked it.
It was like something. Did we ever saw something like that before? I don't think we have.
No, that was a new, fresh gimmick. And he was like, "I won't tell you anything that isn't true," or something. What was the slogan or some shit that he had? He had vignettes where he was telling people things and about like different things that we apparently didn't know about or something. It was a cool gimmick. It was like a devil's advocate like gimmick.
It did also look like he came straight out of a mental asylum.
Yeah, the thing is though, in the beginning, it wasn't meant to be like a crazed gimmick. It was more of a heel devil's advocate. That was all it was.
Which would have been very interesting at the time.
They paired him with Roddy Piper, which it was not great. Not in the slightest. I didn't care for it. Him being paired up with Roddy.
Oh yeah.
And then Roddy said something in like a sports show or something, and he got fired.
Yeah, that.
And then after After that, we have Sean O'Hare in limbo, and then he gets
Wait.
fired.
And that's what we said too before we get back to the Liv Morgan thing. Like, there's always the biggest what ifs in this in the WWE's history. Probably the biggest obvious point, and that's Test. Like,
every time we do a retro watch party and we get to one of his matches, I'm always saying on stream and nodding my head, shaking my head, looking at the TV and going, "This man should have been a world champion."
100%.
Every week.
The dude can wrestle. This is basically what you look for in a world champion. The dude is great on the mic. He can wrestle. Like, he's got great presentation.
He got the size. The strength.
Size, everything.
He's got everything.
And the fact they never put...
He had everything Vince ever looked for in a world champion.
And yet never fucking capitalized on it.
Nothing.
Even though I feel bad for the dude who also... You guys... Oh, good Lord. Oh, God.
I know, but as far as Vince ever went was mid-card.
And that really pissed me off as a kid.
Because it's all you ever went was mid-card.
And it's kind of crazy too. And shout out to Maven too. Like, kind of understand who Tess is as a human being.
Oh, one of the nicer.
Like you really that. And I could imagine and him and now like he's I don't know, man. It's yeah.
It's a big what if. It's a big what if.
I mean, Sean O'Hare is another big what if. I don't think you really know what it talks about because it kind of really does.
Owen Hart. All right, we're not going to do that.
But I will say Owen Hart is the
wait. We have to ban that comment. We don't do that.
But Owen Hart, I would say, is another biggest what if, somewhat of a big what if. I think he was another one you could probably make an argument for it to be a world champion. Never really capitalized on it. Either way, we're gonna move on.
No, Benoit was actually pushed pretty damn well.
Well,
because he was a world champion. He was a U.S. champion. He was U.S. champion. He was gonna be ECW champion until circumstances.
Yeah, which we don't talk about.
We don't talk about. We'll never talk about again. But yeah, he was a world champion, so he wasn't really misused. No, Owen. All he could get was mid card.
I mean, look, the dude, and that's the thing too. Like, he may not have the size, but the dude could wrestle. He had a pretty good look for his size, and the dude could fucking speak on the goddamn mic.
And the sad part is too, they made him a WWE champion on a house show, and then completely said, "No, never mind."
Yeah, they pretty much backtracked that shit.
They don't even count that reign.
Yeah, even now, like, yeah, it's not an official, which kind of really sucks. That's not here, not there before we get heated, but I kind of do appreciate Liv, and that's the thing too. Like, I think how Liv and we know what the kind of person Liv is. Great and also,
person.
And also very humble too. The fact that she actually names most of the all-time greats, you know, and she's right, she's right for most of it. Trish, Lita, Chyna, Jackie, Ivory, Molly Holly, like 6 women to pay the way for what.
Yeah, and obviously she had a short list because she was conversating, and she ain't gonna name every woman under the sun in that company.
But I would say those are, and to me, those were the 6 women I would have go with. If you're doing, give me like a top 6.
I would have went with those 6 too. Yeah,
because, no, hold up. Who am I thinking of? Was it Ivory or was it Jack? Hold up, I'm having a complete fucking brain. Oh, it was Jackie. I think it might have been Jackie. They kicked the crap. Only funny moment from her is kicking the crap out of Harvey Whippleman, but that's not the nor there. Okay.
She also beat Chavo for the freaking cruiserweight title.
Remember that? The first female cruiserweight. So, basically, in the company's history, you had a first female intercontinental champion. You also have a first African American women's intercontinental cruiserweight. Jesus Christ, I'm having a fucking mental stroke over here. God, I can't even go through a fucking strip without a mental stroke. So,
You can't get through a sentence right now. Fuck you too.
but yeah. So, and I will say, talented, but on some at times put in some crappy feuds. And oh Jesus, you're probably wondering which crappy feud. Oh, I don't know, the ARP matches that she's fucking been in. No,
Yeah.
but the way I look at this, women, I would say women's wrestling and women in general have come a long way in I would say the last 25 years.
Oh my god, it's come a long goddamn way. I watched back at the Attitude Era shit that Rob been getting me into.
Yeah, I'm dragging.
He actually shared a clip on Twitter where, or he didn't share it. He saw a clip on Twitter.
I did, yeah.
From 90s WWE. I had to look this shit up where WWE literally showed full frontal.
Yeah, on a pay-per-view.
On a pay-per-view. That's how bad the women were being booked.
And we saw that too on the Retro Watch Party. But yeah, thank God that was fucking censored.
No, they had Peacock literally freaking edit it to where they did change the camera angle during that.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm kind of glad the women's division has come a long way since then, because good grief.
Definitely.
I mean, shit. I mean, coming from the
and if you think the Liv Morgan shit's sexual as hell, which it is kind of sexual, not gonna lie.
It's not compared to what the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era were presenting.
I was going to say, watch that clip. Go to 90s WWE and watch that clip.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as you make it out to be.
Because with the Ruthless Aggression Era, as great memories as it has, we're not going to let that era off the hook. Because think about it, you had brawl and panty matches, you had, oh God,
you had two goddamn sex celebrations,
which Jesus, we're unfortunately going to see that. Unfortunately,
oh dear God, I hope my family don't walk in on that shit.
I forget. Oh yeah, you want to tell about that story?
What?
That yeah.
Oh, my mother, right? I already told that story. She saw a clip on TikTok or somewhere about it. She goes, "You want to explain what this is?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the era I grew up on watching." That's all I can say.
Yeah, and when I tell you, like, that was one of the weirdest moments Sarah told me.
I was like, and then I'm like talking about it, and she's bringing this shit. I'm like, I know. I
didn't have that shit
about the clip. You showed me like a week.
Because like when we tell you that, and like you had to look at the progression, but you got to look at the times. Obviously, the dark times, which was from good Lord, where do you want to start with it?
The dark time for the women's division. It was around, I would say, the dark time for the women's division would be the late 90s up to, I would say, 2014, 2015. Because even in the PG era, they were not seen as competitors. Hell, you had Lay Cool literally bully Mickey James.
Yeah, for
shaming her.
Even though she was not that bad looking. Even nowadays, good fucking God.
Fat.
I mean, she's thick, but not
thick.
fat.
She's thick, but she ain't fat.
Oof, good God. Anybody see her nowadays? Jesus Christ.
She literally posted a picture of saying, "Oh, like, I don't know about this face card thing." I'm like, yeah, you're still pretty.
Yeah. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's really hard to kind of understand. You got to think of this too. And I know some of the women too, you got to put yourself in their shoes, so to speak. You got to figure out what they had to experience. And yes, I mean, like I said, you had Trish Stratus, Lita, just to name the few, that kind of, I would say, in a way, kind of really started to what we could see had WWE actually had the balls. Nowadays we don't have to really worry about that, because now it's kind of funny. Nowadays we're seeing a lot more women's matches on not just Raw, SmackDown. You even see NXT kind of pushing the future of the women's division. Someone like a Sol Ruka.
Look at last Tuesday. They used like more than half of the women's division on one show.
And that really should tell you, like, the future that this company has with the women's division. Now,
yes. Hold on, let me finish. You had Sol Ruka wrestle in a tag match. You had like 5 different women in a segment.
Yeah.
It's like you're using half, but you're utilizing that women's division very well. And that's something that the main roster should do more of. I mean, they do a lot of stuff for the women. Like, they do have, the tag division, which it's kind of taken another hit.
It's a work in progress.
Work in progress. The main title feuds are really good.
And we're potentially could have some introduction of the mid card, the women's version of the IC and the United States Championship.
There is that rumor going around that they're making the US and IC belts for the women, which would be cool.
I'd be fucking happy.
More women would be on the card, which is awesome. The women are actually respected and not sexualized.
Oh, yeah.
Except for the Liv Morgan thing, but
the
story calls for it. Rhea isn't really sexualized. She isn't.
I mean, to some.
In this story, hold on. In this story, Liv is.
Yeah, right.
But the thing is, though, the story does call for it, and she consented on it.
Yeah.
Back in the day, in the early 2000s.
Oh, no, you had no choice.
Women, they had no fucking choice. They had to be sexualized.
It was basically, as Tyler put it, it's like basically you pretty much were getting held at gunpoint. You either do what you're told, or you're fired.
Yeah,
that's basically how the company.
Now the thing is, though, I'm sure Triple H asked, "Are you okay with doing this, and this?" And she probably like, "Yeah, sure." The story
Exactly.
Like, I'm pretty sure she of course she asked to go out there in her damn shorts and do what she did.
Ugh,
I'm sure she wanted to be on top of Dom every week.
Oh God.
I'm sure she wanted to do that stuff because
it's like it should have been me, damn it.
That's me. But
I'm just kidding.
She asked, but she consented on it. Like, you sure you want to do this? Yeah.
And it's one of those things. It's like, she's put on, and has she, and like this, like, and yeah, and that's the thing too, and that's what you're going to love about Liv Morgan too. Like, she can, like, this could be in reality. We look at the storyline from a face value; it's serious, but at the time too, like, she's adding her own humor to it, that sort of thing, and also
it's not really funny though. There's nothing funny about the whole thing. Except for the chicken nugget thing, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, in certain...
The chicken nugget thing is pretty funny because it's already been revealed in real life. Dom don't eat nothing but chicken nuggets or chicken tenders.
I mean, what? I mean, we're still...
Bro is literally me.
and that's the thing, too. And look... I would say...
About the chicken tendies and the chicken nuggies, I understand, brother.
Oh, man.
I understand.
Can't go wrong with that.
I understand, man.
But moving on. So we have another one. So WWE has discussed a TV return of an absent star. So now the question is, and there's probably people going to be commenting like, who is it? Funny, not say funny, but the absent star in question is Raquel Rodriguez. Is the absent star in return, or which, what? Good Lord, I feel bad for this woman.
Speak it.
Fuck you, and such a fat one. But like I said, and Tyler can attest to this too. Like, we feel bad for Raquel.
She literally left TV. I mean, there is an issue because she did say that her breathing wasn't great too, which kind of makes me like, I don't know if this is a good idea. But doctors did clear her about that situation, but really it was also because she started to wear less makeup because every time the makeup would flare up her face and break out her face.
Oh yeah.
And she said, I think initially she took time off of TV because she revealed that she didn't feel beautiful. And I'm like, damn, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn. I'm like, you're pretty, dude. Like, you're selling yourself short because your face breaks out.
Yeah.
Like, she's not bad looking. Like, stop selling yourself short. You're making me feel bad.
Well, and not just that. I mean, it's like the fact that I didn't know, because like none of us knew that she had this type of condition to the point where it's like it really messes. Oh yeah,
Get her healthy. Put smiling Raquel. Return her. Honestly, don't even have her smile. Have her be the bodyguard for Liv Morgan.
yeah. Oh, good lord, that would be interesting to see.
I would have her rekindle that tag team and make her not smile because I don't really care for smiling Raquel at
And
all.
yeah, it just felt so out of place with that.
I'm like, you have a 7-foot behemoth of a woman and you're having her smiling? No, don't do that. No. Make her a monster. Make her a beast. Anyway.
But and obviously too though for those and we've seen a lot of wrestlers come a long way, especially in doesn't matter like I said, not doesn't matter what company you're in. When we look at WWE, there's a lot of obviously I would name a few in particular that has come a long way. For a lot of I say had to put up a lot of shit. I think the one I would say that and I've seen a lot of wrestlers actually come to his defense, and that's the Miz. The Miz got so much unnecessary shit for all the wrong reasons. Like, I don't know.
For me, I have hiccup mid talk. Shut up.
Asshole. Hey, karma's a bitch, ain't it? So
Shut
go on.
the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Oh, real
But
talk from a walking noodle.
I will throw my I'll throw my brace at your head. Shut the fuck up. But yeah, I feel like Miz was he couldn't like he got a lot of unnecessary heat because he was a reality TV star first. He was on like an MTV show before he went to WWE, and it was like a reality show for MTV or some shit. And he was on there, and people bashed him for it, like, oh, why are you a wrestler? You're just some reality TV star. You don't need to be here. And like people were bashing him because he was eating chicken backstage, and he accidentally got crumbs off on somebody's bag or some shit. And then they made up this lie where he was throwing chicken. Kicked him out of the locker room. He had to change in a janitor's closet.
Yeah, and I will say Miz is, I think that's what really worked with him as a heel. Like
And also too, he was pretty bad in the ring at first. He was.
Oh yeah, he was bad
pretty
in the ring and bad with
first.
fashion.
Promos wasn't the best either. He was forgetting his lines. He had to write down lines and for the Diva Search. He was host for the Diva Search that one time on Raw
either,
or on SmackDown, and then over time he improved. I think by like 2010, the company saw this guy has something.
100%.
Gave him the WWE title run. It wasn't great. He was botching that WrestleMania match. It wasn't the best match ever in 2010 or 2011.
Yeah,
it sucked. It was terrible. He did need to iron out his skills further. I think by 2016 was his peak.
Yeah, that was so
that was when everybody was like, Miz has it.
Yeah,
because he could wrestle, he could speak, he had a great character.
I mean, the dude would, And look, besides Gunther, he's the only one that comes to mind that made the Intercontinental Championship actually mean something.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, it was just a fucking joke.
It was passed around like fucking. It was a toy.
I was going to say, oh God, I was going to go the non-PG route, but then again, fuck it.
Not a sex toy. Not a sex toy. I'm talking about.
No. I was going to say that they were passing around like an unwashed prostitute.
No, you know what I was going to say? I was gonna be a little bit more PG-13. I was gonna say it was passed around like a blunt.
That's weak.
You can't. It's a raunchier route, but it's more PG-13.
Yeah. But it
was passed around like a blunt. Like every
Steven, that's also true as well.
I feel like happiness comes into play because he got the girl as well, which is fine.
Cool. And that's one of the things which you also like about Miss. He actually helped Maurice speak English.
He did. He helped her.
Even though obviously the one thing that I didn't like,
he helped her by hitting on her.
I mean, look, whatever works.
It worked.
Even though the one thing I will nitpick about the Miz though, his fashion.
It worked on both sides. He got the girl, and she can speak English.
And yes, also had the tiny ball segment, which is still fucking funny as shit.
The tiny ball segment, dude. Seriously, I want this shirt.
But besides that,
I had massive ball shirt. I still want. Oh yeah. Shirt. I still want that shirt.
But at the end of the day, credits him to the Miz for his lasting out as long as he did.
Yeah,
because
he grinded. I respect his grind. I do.
And the only thing that I didn't like about him was his fashion sense. Like, dude, you either wear a bandana or a fedora. There's no in between. Sorry, both. That still bugs the shit out of me.
There's no both. And even like I think it was like in the documentary he did. It wasn't for A&E. I think it was like 24 for Peacock.
Yeah.
And it was like, looking back on it, he was like, even I think what I was doing with the fedora and bandana looked fucking stupid. I'm like, nah, you see it?
But I mean, you really can't, because you got to think too. At the time, like you don't really think about that much at the time because those were just younger years.
You really don't think of that much because he thought he had a good character. The whole fedora wearing, like, it wasn't really
like a token douchebag. That's basically how
he was just basically a token douchebag. It wasn't like it wasn't a character. But he did create a genius character. It was like right after he did the Marine movie. He goes, "Let me make a character where I make a wannabe Hollywood A-lister. Think he's A-list."
People loved it.
Well, but hold on, let me finish. Damn. You're always speaking when I'm speaking, dude. Shit. But he said, "Let me make this character where I'm a B-list actor thinking he's A-list." And it completely changed the freaking game for this guy. Like, he's still that character, but he's a babyface now.
It's,
for me, this face run with Truth has been good, shockingly enough.
Yeah.
Other face runs were cut short because people didn't like it. Like he was a face during the build between him and The Fiend, but by the end of it, he was heel. Because people didn't like it, so they scrapped the face run.
I mean, look, if you talk about the Miz nowadays, the dude, when you really look at him, I mean, he's probably pretty sure a nice dude, but also probably one of the best natural heels. I mean, we've seen them. Well, I'd say in a long time, because there's a lot better other ones that I know that can come off as. It's always the good ones that, and that's another thing too. That's always the good people that make the best freaking heels. I don't get it.
I swear. I look at like the Miz in real life. That man's a nice fucking dude. Nice guy. He's a nice guy. He's a family man.
And on TV, he's a fucking hateable heel.
He's a hateable heel. Who, but it also works too because you look at his face, he's got a punchable face.
Oh, he does.
Not
And
gonna
even he said in that documentary, yeah, people said I had a punchable face. I mean, we were the first when he first broke in. Yeah, you do want to feel like you want to punch this bastard, but out of the way.
Even when he's a heel, you feel like you want to punch him. That's how good of a heel he is.
And nowadays, I mean, we can say saying the same with Logan Paul, but that's not that's another topic for
Logan
another
Paul
day.
is just like literally a dickhead. So
Richard Cranium.
Richard Cranium. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Yeah, it's funny.
But God, I mean, Brie is a great person outside the ring. I think a badass heel.
That's
just
really
like
heel in real life, or that's really heel in the storyline.
It's like what the hell? I said what? And
broke.
Also too, that's another thing too. Why is it always the women who turn heel always look so fucking goddamn hot? Like, are you trying to get most of those wrestling fans bricked up?
Like I don't know how. I don't know how it happens, but it
like
happens.
Lordy.
But anyway,
moving on. We got a couple more things, and that'll be it for this show. So, Rikishi kind of did it, I think on a podcast at one point, but he did talk about how he is not a fan of Jey Uso's booking so far, from my understanding.
For me, I'm not really into the booking either because he's not really in feuds lately. If you noticed.
Oh yeah.
No, he's in this like weird feud with Dom and the Judgment Day. It's because he wants Rhea, which I'm like, huh?
And that doesn't make any fucking sense either.
I mean, I get like he started hitting on her when like early on when he was first feuding with Judgment Day. But you're seriously gonna book you're gonna book a separate love triangle storyline on top of another love triangle storyline? That makes no sense to me. But yeah, his booking's been shoddy lately, so I agree.
And I think it's also the same time too.
And I feel like Steven in the comments, you're right. I feel like they are stalling.
Yeah, stalling for when Jimmy comes back.
But you literally have a made man as a singles competitor. He is over with the fans as a singles competitor because of this yeet shit. Somehow he made a 2016 word popular in 2024.
Yeah.
A damn word that was popular in 2016, he made it over in 2024. That tells you something about Jey Uso. And I get it, Jey Uso, he's very limited in the ring because of the whole tag team thing. He doesn't really have that much of a moveset. But he can still fucking go in the ring.
So, side note, because I'm actually going to run back with the Miz a little bit, because this was interesting that I actually kind of found out yesterday when I was looking for some stuff. So even the Miz opened up. He actually of him burying the hatchet with CM Punk. So there was, I would say, Punk actually kind of making amends with him, and the Miz kind of really fixed that broken relationship. And yes, I know it's kind of weird.
I feel like they didn't really have much of a beef going on. That's the thing. So I feel like you know, I feel like the reasonings of getting irritated and pissed off with the 2014 thing, it made sense because I feel like Miz was going through that shit too.
Oh yeah.
Because look at the ending to that 2011 match. It wasn't Miz versus John Cena. It was really Miz versus The Rock because at the end of the damn show, you had Miz get beaten down as the WWE champion because he had just retained, only for The Rock to end it standing tall.
Yeah.
Just to push another feud over. I feel like there's some understanding there between why Punk was initially mad the first run. So I understand. I completely understand. So I don't think there was really much of a like a beef there.
Yeah, but still, it's actually kind of nice to see Punk, not just Punk, but also others are coming out.
Yo, we kind of look the same. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yo, is my doppelganger up in here? Yo, yeah, you stole. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You took my picture.
Yeah.
Wait, who is this? Who the hell is this? You dog? Who
I
is
mean,
this?
look, I appreciate it.
Wait, go back to that one comment. Nah, who is this? You stealing my shit? We don't look the same. You just took my picture. You just took my picture.
Mean,
come on.
Hey, look, it's funny though. But I do, and Dark
Little.
Melody and Council, trust me, you're not the only ones.
You hate that The Rock's back. The Rock, I mean, The Rock is, if he doesn't interject himself into storylines and shit, then
that's fine.
Then it's whatever. Because it's literally me. That is literally me.
But yeah, I thought I actually wanted to kind of touch on that. But
I don't know if I should take this serious because I think they're trying to steal my identity.
And see you later.
I don't. Yeah, I'm starting to take it serious. But
moving on. So Beth Phoenix, it was kind of the news. Check credit to Tyler for this one. That she has not resigned with WWE.
Here's my thing with that. It's just following. It's just her following her husband. That's all it is. That's all it is. I don't think there's any bad blood with her and WWE. I don't feel like there's bad blood with Adam and WWE. She just wants to go where her husband is, or just be a mom at this point. And identity theft is not a joke. It isn't a joke. It's not a joke. And I don't know if they were serious or not, because I don't know who that is. I could see like them trying to be wrestlers in that, which they usually do it for jokes.
Which just happens.
I'm not gonna contact the government over this. I'm not.
I mean,
they just took my picture and tried to be me.
It is what it happens. You know, it's not really
crazy how you can have a twin out there and not no. Really? And they're like they were not twin. They took my picture. They took a picture of me here.
Yeah.
And tried to be me.
But hey, it is what it is. We're gonna be moving on.
Yeah, that might happen. Adam and Beth versus Christian and Mama Wayne. But here's the thing. Little Dingy kind of looks like Robert.
Man, I got rid of him too, so we ain't gonna be dealing with.
Wait, no, don't. Wait, who is this? Oh, wait, no, they're back. Took a picture of you.
But other than that, it is what it is. But last thing before we get up out of here, WWE is teasing a WrestleMania in London.
Now before we come back into this, right? We got to address this. Don't take our pictures and try to come back each time we ban you.
Exactly.
Be your freaking self. So stop it, whoever this is. Stop it. Dark mouthing, but yeah, I feel like they're probably gonna do the mixed tag match.
Yeah.
Pac and Leo Rush should probably hit, but the thing is though, Mama Wayne, I don't think she can actually wrestle.
Yeah, and that's gonna be very ugly on that end.
I don't know about that. I really don't.
But other than that, I mean, Yeah. The last and final thing we got out of here is the WWE is teasing a WrestleMania in London, which, good Lord, how long have we been screaming that for? For a while?
We've been honestly screaming that since Cena said it. Us personally, but I feel like London, England. I feel like Englanders they really want
They
it.
just bring it. They bring the energy to that.
They brought the energy to. Honestly, I think we said it when they went to the O2 Arena for that one pay-per-view. I forgot what pay-per-view it was, but yeah, I feel like they deserve it because they were red hot. I feel like Scotland deserves one. I feel like Wales deserves one. There's a lot of. I feel like Puerto Rico deserves one. I feel like Brazil or France definitely deserves one because of Backlash.
But yeah, because it's like we always talked about that the international crowds, they always seem to really bring more of the energy than
It's because we always get events. They don't. That's the problem. We always get events.
That would be.
I know they promised Nashville. I know they did. But here's the thing: they also promised London, England.
But
so
yeah,
I feel like they need to go to England. Nashville, they can have WrestleMania too. They can have it. I really pushed for WrestleMania to return to Philly for the longest time. That happened at 40.
Yep.
And honestly, I think Philly disappointed me with the crowd reaction. They disappointed me because night one they weren't even close to loud. And I get it. It was cold as hell still.
Oh yeah.
And they couldn't react because they were that cold. Second night they were slightly better, but still it's really disappointing. I don't think Hawaii needs a Mania. I don't.
You just got to take into consideration to the locals. They do not give a shit.
They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn.
They don't give a damn about us. That's the thing.
They don't even want tours. They don't want tours. So I
just don't see it.
I don't see it in Hawaii. I don't.
Now, if you're asking, say, what other places you could hold Mania? I mean, like I said, I think London would be the start so far. I think that would be. Let's just say would that be 42?
I wouldn't say 42. I would probably 40, like down the line, probably 45. Because it would take a bit. They would probably have like a lot of Mexico.
That would be interesting.
I would actually just test, like, honestly, the market first. I would probably have another pay-per-view there. See if they can.
Yeah, and see how
how that crowd reacts. And I know Mexico is a hotbed for wrestling. I know they are. The whole lucha libre.
Yeah, I mean the fact
style there.
Shit. Have Ray be the ambassador going down to Mexico.
Have Ray be the ambassador. Yeah, have Ray do it.
I mean, it makes perfect fucking sense.
Yeah,
but
I would do another. I would have another pay-per-view first before we do London, or not London. Yeah. Mexico.
The way I look at, did we ever? Wait, did we ever have a pay-per-view in Canada? I could be fucking wrong.
Yes, Backlash, Montreal. I think it was Montreal.
Oh, it was Elimination Chamber. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah, Elimination Chamber.
Ugh. Yeah, this was before they actually.
That was when Sammy got the world title shot and he lost it in that match.
Good match though for what it was.
Good match, great match. The crowd loved it. They were red hot. I think Montreal needs a Mania. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Get Montreal involved because they were also red hot for Slammiversary.
They did. They were,
and for TNA Impact this past week. So
yeah.
And that was only like 4,000 people there. So it was like,
yeah, I mean, look, you got to think too, in over a decade, that's the largest crowd they ever sold out. And
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, look, it's going to take a while for TNA to get back. And I'm gonna kind of touch on TNA a little bit before we get out of here. Yeah, I know. There's going to be the smarks that are going to say, "Oh, yada yada yada." But you also got to realize too, TNA is coming out of the what we call the crappy. I mean, we did see also, yeah.
Melbourne or Sydney, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I think we did see one in Sydney. That was the Elimination Chamber. What, last year, the year before that?
Wasn't Sydney or Melbourne. It was Perth,
Oh
Australia.
yeah, it was Perth. I'm a fucking moron. Like I said, I love geography, but sometimes I suck at it.
No one knows. No one knew about Perth until that show.
It's like when you think of Australia, it's like either Melbourne or Sydney.
You don't think of Perth.
No, because I think Perth is one of those.
I didn't even know that there was a city named Perth.
Neither did I.
I never.
That's
one, I've never been there. For one, I've never been there. Two, geography ain't my thing. So,
but I mean, like I said, we have one of our subscribers down there who lives the land down under. That's our boy Alpha Cosgrave. Shout out to him, another fellow wrestling fan as well. Yes. But and also credit to anyone who actually stayed up for that pay-per-view. Shout out to our buddy Goalie who had to make that sacrifice for us.
This dude told us like flat out, I streamed it at 5 a.m. I go, what? I literally slept through it, right? I slept through it. 5 o'clock I started watching that shit. Dodging spoilers all day.
Oh yeah,
because I wasn't gonna wake up 5 a.m. to watch pay-per-view. But then again, I do kind of feel bad for the Australian markets, the England markets that don't really get pay-per-views until 1 a.m. anyway.
Yeah. So I will say this too, though. Other than the 7 o'clock starts, I do like the midday ones.
I like the midday ones. I do like the 7 o'clock ones because I can actually watch them.
Yeah.
And I actually can watch the midday ones. I liked Clash because I watched that. Both of them I watched.
Is it bad for me to say that this past year's Clash of Castle was slightly disappointing?
In a way, slightly. It wasn't. It didn't hit as hard as one.
Like it did the first time.
One. It didn't hit as hard, but it wasn't a bad show.
It wasn't, but I mean, it's like if you're gonna have something called Clash of the Castle, you at least try to replicate what you had in Wales. Now, like I said, I know
you can't really replicate it because again, you can't really replicate it because that Clash in Wales was the first one. You can't replicate it. You can try to top it, but you can't. It's hard to.
Yeah, we're not. And shout out to anyone, especially to any of the Scottish or Welsh that who have come across us before. Like I said, y'all were great. Don't get us wrong. It's just like the event itself felt flat.
For me, the only gripe that I had, and I'm telling you, I'm right because of how they're being booked as champs now. You gave the women's tag champions the title because for the sake of them being at home.
Yeah.
What are you doing with them now? Not much.
I mean, the fact they're all, yeah.
You have them talk. You don't have them wrestle.
But besides that, to me, and this is why I will always appreciate the international crowds. Like I said, no matter what company you're in, because to me, they have way more energy than we do. And
again,
for those
again, it is because they don't get a lot of shows.
Not just that, but it seems like us, after a while, we get okay, so I'm trying to make a sports analogy with this. Think of because obviously with England, so they got because they got soccer. The energy, and hell, even take a Lyon, France. Shout out to every single one of y'all down in Lyon, France for backlash.
The freaking camera shook.
Oh yeah, So what I'm saying is like us American fans, like we have after we like use like enough, like like we get burned out very quickly. Whereas the international fans, they just keep it fucking going. It's like a fucking party with them.
No, here's my thing. It's like look at our sports compared to theirs. They're loud as hell with soccer over in the
Oh, yeah, the
other
soccer's like a
countries.
religion with them.
Hell, they came to the States and tried to take down an entire arena.
Yeah.
By themselves. Because they're that passionate. With us, I feel like we're passionate for our teams. We are. Not gonna lie, we are. Sometimes we're a little bit too passionate.
Yeah.
And we say some stupid shit, Phillies fans. But we're not passionate to where we're yelling, we're screaming, we're chanting stuff. Like the excitement just seems like it's not there when we go to shows or when we go
That's
to.
what I'm saying. Like the excitement, like it just goes like that, like a flick of the switch.
It's not even like it goes. It just never turns on.
And that kind of, like I said, I'm not saying we're not trying to hate. Listen, we're not trying to like hate on anybody. We're just trying to point this out because this like a lot. Like we want you to put this in to make you guys understand. Like even the passion is not sometimes it's never there. And there's a couple perfect examples I remember. Because there's a couple shows like I think there was one Raw and SmackDown. You got to listen to how the crowd. If there's how the crowd is, if there's murmurs, and you can see people like having conversation. If a show, let's say hypothetically, doesn't go well, you see people conversating with the other fans in the crowd. Like that's and that's kind of what Tyler's alluding to. Like, the energy's not there.
And the thing is, too, it's like there's been a few matches where you don't even see that the crowd is just dead. And there were times where we're streaming. And and I think it was like during like a women's match, and we were like, look, these people are on their phones. They're literally on their phone.
That should tell you, like, right then and
they're
there.
not
Like,
holding it up to take a picture. They're literally on it, scrolling Facebook or Twitter or whatever.
Or TikTok.
Or TikTok or something else.
And
the energy, it just isn't there in the States. Our attention spans, I feel like, is also not great. Like our attention spans are shit over here.
Well, I can relate to that for someone even have to deal with that with ADHD. So
like, but that's different. It's like you're focusing on one thing, then another thing happens, and you're focusing on that, then another thing happens, you're focusing on that. That's different.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like them, like after like one or two matches, they just don't care.
For sure.
Dude, I remember when their attention spans were so shit, they brought in a freaking beach ball to shows?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then you see freaking Cesaro, who's now Claudio, rip that shit up. Like, thank you. I was annoyed with the fans with in that
and take it from me. And look, I've not been to a lot of shows like most people. And for me, I kind of feel disgusted as seeing how us American fans we don't care, and that really bugs me. That really is that really rubs me the wrong way. When you have say an Australian crowd, also shout out to y'all for a solid elimination chamber.
Oh, bro. Dude, that show, it was predictable, and if it happened in the States, it will be looked at as one of the worst because of the crowd reaction.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, the show must have been terrible because the crowd's not reacting to it. When in Australia, we still thought the show was good, even though it was predictable, because the crowd brought it. They thought it was good, so we thought it was good.
And it's kind of crazy because I think me and Tar once had a conversation. I think us and like a couple other friends of ours, we had this kind of conversation. It's like, I think it would have been best to have pay-per-views overseas rather here in the States because no one's we're not going to react to it. It's unfortunate.
And I remember having a conversation like this too, but also you really have to please everybody in WWE
Yeah,
in
that's also
wrestling
true as well.
because like you want your fans happy.
100%.
Having like shows predominantly in just one country or one part of the country, you're gonna make you're isolating another part of the crowd or another part of the world. Like if they're predominantly out of the states, you're gonna piss off everybody in the states.
Oh yeah.
And if they're just in Canada, you're pissing everybody else off. So you need pay-per-views in every single country, not just the U.S.
That's
And I
true.
feel like I think that was part of the issue too. Is before the Triple H era and before Nick Khan, thank God, saved everything and made other countries have these pay-per-views. They were all in the States.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Every
And
one of them.
not just me, not just Tyler, even our group's friends, we had countless discussions about this. Like, it's like, would have been nice to see these events overseas to help, bring the international market, no matter where you go overseas.
And everybody was saying in that era too, bring back the world part of World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, you got to live up to your name, anyways.
Got to live up to the name, and they weren't doing it. I think the last time before they went to Puerto Rico for Backlash, like a couple years ago, it was 2021 or 22. I forgot what year it was.
I think it might have been 22.
Might have been 22. But the last time they were in Puerto Rico for any event was I think it was a random Raw in 2005.
Yeah, that.
I remember that long ago. It was that long ago, and I'm like, dude, really? Y'all weren't even. I don't even remember the last time Raw was in Japan.
It's
or SmackDown was in Japan.
Probably a hot fucking minute. And that's the thing, to go back to the thing with Puerto Rico, though. And I will hold my hand up to this, and me and Tara will hold our hands up to this. The build to Backlash was fucking not great. We're not going to call it hot shit because it was there. But the show itself.
That was the problem. It was just there.
But the show itself told a whole completely different story, even with the crowd reaction.
Yeah.
Like I said, and yeah, crowd. I know crowd reactions like, really doesn't dictate, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But if you can listen to how the crowd's reacting, let's say Montreal, for example. Now, yes, older wrestling fans kind of know that Montreal had, not the greatest, not say the greatest wrestling history, probably one of the most infamous storylines. We all know that's pretty much the Montreal screw job. Let's just say if the Montreal crowd, let's just say go back to that time, never had crowd reaction, we wouldn't even talk about the Montreal screw job. That would just kind of been one of those things. It's like, it was just there.
I feel like we still would because of the drama behind it. We still.
Oh yeah.
You'd still talk. You'd still hear about it. But really though, it's like, I feel like other countries do dictate some shows because if, like I just said, the Australian show Elimination Chamber in Perth. Like, if you look at it and take away the crowd reaction, that is the most mid-level show ever.
Yeah, 100%.
Because all of it was predictable.
Hell,
all of it was.
Think about the Puerto Rico. Think about the show.
Hold on. If the Puerto Rican show wasn't in Puerto Rico, it was in the States, it would have been mid. It would have still been good. It would have still been good. I'm talking about like shows like, Elimination Chamber in Perth.
Right.
Would have been terrible. Now I think the worst country, politics aside, I'm talking about the crowd reaction here, is Saudi. Because you look at their events,
they're just
the crowd's
shattering.
dead. The crowd is dead.
And knowing the fact we have 4 more years of the freaking Saudi deal.
Yeah, and I'm talking about like politics aside, news.
Oh yeah,
like that. Like, if I have my reasons as to why I don't watch them, but I do catch clips, and the crowd is dead.
Like there's
Like they don't even care. Like they're
yeah.
Now there's some reactions to things. Like there's some reactions. I
Well,
don't
it's
think
not.
it's not to the level of Perth, Australia, France, Puerto Rico. Not to that level.
Even London for the Money in the Bank.
I feel like I feel like Saudi has that same level of excitement like the States do. Like they care, but just not enough.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. But other than that, that is going to wrap it up for another edition of the It's Running Podcast, episode number 80. It's been a while since we actually did a 2-hour show, and also shout out to anyone who actually joined on the Instagram live.
Also, whatever happened to Guess the Wrestler?
I think we kind of fucking fumbled that one.
Yeah.
Apologies for that. It's a guess the theme.
We're not gonna do that. We axed it.
Yeah. It just seems like. But actually, I might put a community post on. I might do a poll on the community post, see what you guys think. If you guys do want to see Guess the Wrestler's theme, if you want to bring that back, hey, look, we would love to hear.
We'd love to hear from you guys. I was just wondering. I'm like, damn. It was like the
I think I might have completely forgot about that. But so apologies for that. So like I said, but outside of that, appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys on another episode of the It's Nerdy Podcast.
Peace.